In a world where wealth is often seen as the ultimate goal, Jesus offers timeless wisdom on how to view and manage our riches. He teaches us that wealth isn't inherently bad, but it's how we use it that matters. Let's explore 10 key lessons from Jesus on wealth, lessons that will help you navigate life's challenges and stay true to what truly matters. 1. Wealth is not evil, but the love of money is. Jesus never condemned wealth itself. In fact, many of his followers were wealthy. But he did warn against the love of money. In 1 Timothy 6 verse 10, he said, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." The issue arises when wealth becomes an obsession, replacing our faith, values, and relationships. Jesus calls us to have a balanced perspective. Money is a tool, not the goal. 2. Do not lay up treasures on earth. In Matthew 6 verses 19 to 20, Jesus taught, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. The wealth of this world is fleeting. No matter how much we accumulate, it won't last forever. True wealth is found in eternal things, faith, love, and service to others." 3. The more you have, the greater the responsibility. In Luke 12 verse 48, Jesus says, "From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded." Wealth brings with it a responsibility to help others. The more you possess, the more you can give. Jesus teaches that our blessings are meant to be shared, not hoarded. When we help others with what we have, we reflect his love and generosity. 4. Be content with what you have. In 1 Timothy 6 verse 6, Paul writes, "But godliness with contentment is great gain." Jesus teaches us that wealth isn't the key to happiness. Learning to be content with what we have brings peace and joy. When we stop chasing after more and appreciate what we've been given, we discover the true riches of life, contentment and gratitude. 5. Wealth can make us forget our dependence on God. In Mark 10 verse 25, Jesus warns, "It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God." Wealth can create a false sense of security and self-sufficiency. When we rely too much on our riches, we forget that everything we have comes from God. True wealth lies in acknowledging our dependence on Him. 6. You cannot serve both God and money. Jesus said in Matthew 6 verse 24, "No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other." Money can easily become an idol if we're not careful. If we prioritize wealth over God, we risk losing our spiritual focus. Jesus calls us to choose Him first and let everything else fall into place. 7. Seek first the kingdom of God. In Matthew 6 verse 33, Jesus encourages us to seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. When we prioritize our relationship with God, He will provide for our needs. Wealth will not be our master, instead, it will be a tool we use to serve His purpose. Jesus invites us to trust in God's provision, not in our own wealth. 8. Give generously, without expecting anything in return. Jesus teaches in Luke 6 verse 38, "Give, and it will be given to you." The principle of generosity is central to Jesus' teachings. It's not just about money. Jesus calls us to give our time, energy, and love without expecting anything in return. True wealth is measured by what we give, not what we receive. 9. Wealth should be used to help those in need. In Matthew 25 verses 35 to 40, Jesus teaches that when we help those in need, we are serving Him. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Wealth is a tool to serve others, not a tool to indulge ourselves. Helping others is one of the highest callings of a faithful life. 10. Store up treasures in heaven, not earth. Lastly, in Matthew 19 verse 21, Jesus says, "If you want to be perfect, go, sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven." True wealth comes from investing in things that have eternal value, loving others, serving God, and living out our faith. Earthly riches are temporary, but the treasures we build in heaven last forever. Jesus' teachings about wealth challenge us to view money and possessions through a spiritual lens. It's not about how much we have, but how we use it that matters. Jesus calls us to be generous, content, and focused on heavenly treasures. When we follow his teachings, we not only find peace with our wealth, but we also live lives that are rich in faith, love, and purpose. As you reflect on these lessons, remember that wealth isn't a curse, it's an opportunity. An opportunity to serve, to give, and to glorify God. Embrace these teachings, and you will find that the greatest wealth is not found in what you have, but in how you use what you've been given.